Welcome back to the South Coast Showdown here at St Mary's. It's been a busy and slightly frustrating summer, but there have been some changes at the club and one very nice little bit of news. So, let's go and see what's been happening. Right, well, I thought we'd start by having a quick look at the odds for the Premier League. I mean, obviously, no one is particularly short odds except the big boys. And we are down in 10th, but more importantly, what you might notice on this is those little initials there. Now, as you know, we finished 5th last season, and 5th got us Europa League. But during the close season, things in Europe have changed, and English sides now get 5 Champions League places. So guess who's in the Champions League? That's right, it's only bloody us. We are in the Champions League for the first time in our history. One thing I will note is I have been offered a new contract. They actually did increase my wages this time, unlike last time when they tried to cut my wages. And I will point out that we need a top half of the Premier League table finish, which is fine. Should be able to get that, I think. Champions League group phase, or league phase as it's called, which we enter at. FA Cup third round, which we enter at. Carabao Cup third round, which we enter at. So I've already succeeded on 3 of my Club Vision performance indicators before we even start. So, my job's fairly safe. As you can see, there are things going on here. No one is still on the way in. We have some offers for Gavin Bazunu, so hopefully he'll go with one of these. I really do hope so. I just don't want him here anymore. I'm fed up with sick of the sight of him now. Jayden Magoma is a young left back who is like at 3rd choice, I think, on the under 21s. We tried to get more money out of people, but ended up 1.8 was as good as we could get. Bournemouth did bid, but we turned their bid down because we don't like Bournemouth. Now, Manu Morlanes here seems to be wanted by half the Western world. But we have one transfer offer, which I am hoping to get through. I just want him to sign the flaming contract. As you can see, we have got loads of loan offers. Pretty much all of these, I think, have got an optional future fee. And he's not out of contract at the end of this season. He's out of contract at the end of next season. So we don't have to get rid yet. But so if the young boys thing falls through, I will send him out on loan somewhere just so some of his wages are being covered. One way or another, Morlanes probably will not be here for this season. Anyway, that's the ones that are currently on. Now, the ones we've actually done. Diego Moreira is a good, well, wonder kid, I think, actually, out on the right wing. So, obviously, we had Vitor Roque and Shelderup, 2 wonder kids up front. We've now got a triumvirate of wonder kids, although he is not going to be quite first choice yet. You can see here, already pretty good, worth an absolute bloody fortune. Belgian, and yeah, great things expected of Mr. Moreira. Then, now, Karnaseki has come in to replace Bazunu, basically, because our young keeper in the under-21s is not ready for this level yet, and we needed a backup, and Karnaseki is quality. Again, happy to have him here. Now, Lauren Ulrich will come back to in a minute. Couple of recent signings. Rui Palmer, 27 million. I know, it's a lot. Doesn't look great at the moment, but he has a huge amount of potential, and we don't have that many young defenders coming through. We've got plenty of midfielders and the odd forward sort of player coming through in the under-21s. We haven't got much in the way of quality defenders. Rui Palmer is that quality defender. And we've also got Dario Esugo, who has joined us. He is going to be playing in the half-back role. And he is actually our only defensive midfielder in the under-21s now, so he's going to get a lot of playing time there. Hopefully that will get him to improve nicely. He's already championship level, only 20 years old, bags of potential again. So, yeah, very happy to have signed him. Now, departures. We have got several people went out on loan. Now, Kieran Dowell, see, this was all part of the master plan, which hasn't quite come off. But Kieran Dowell has left us, gone to Crystal Palace, 10.5 rising to 13. Few lesser lights have gone. Sekou Mara has gone because we've promoted Rocco Simic to the first team. He was on loan at Coventry last season, but is every bit as good as Sekou Mara and has been showing it in pre-season. He's been doing pretty well. And yeah, Sekou Mara has been funding other people with his departure. A few other loans. Now, you can see here, finally convinced someone to take Tino Livramento off my bloody hands. And the best part about it was, I was offering him out, and Stuttgart came in, and I had seen Lorin Ulrich on a list of good young players. As you can see, Wonder Kid description again. And I'd looked at his price tag, and it was like, I don't know as we can buy him. And then Stuttgart came in and said, that Tino Livramento, do you want to swap him for this Lorin Ulrich? Straight swap, no other money involved or anything. I was like, yes please. So we arranged a deal. Then a couple of other people came in for Tino Livramento, and I just ignored the bids as long as I could. And then finally I had to do something about it, and it was like, well, I can't say no, because what if this one falls through and then I'm lumbered with Tino again? So I kind of accepted them, but fortunately he went to Stuttgart, we got Lorin Ulrich, and I am so happy to have that deal done. It's one of the it's the deal that's probably made me the happiest over this summer, because we got rid of the troublemaker, we got a wonder kid that we wanted, and not a penny was spent. One bit of business that we did try and do, and boy did we try and do it, this lad here will be very familiar to some of you, and as you can see from the amount of green on that screen, he is a quality player. He would have been our right winger, and come January, fingers crossed, he might still be. But I had a bid accepted, and then went to negotiate wages with him, a contract with him, and he seemed to want quite a lot, and at the time I wasn't prepared to pay that. Then I had a change of heart and I had another bid accepted, but he wasn't ready to talk to me again yet. So we waited, we had a third bid accepted. This time he was prepared to talk, we came to a deal, we thought we had him signed, and then because of this, where he is currently out with cruciate ligament damage, he failed his medical and they refused to sanction the signing. Now I would have taken him so that we could deal with that injury and he could come back in middle of the season and fine, and he would be ours, we would have him. So now, come January, I've got to go through that rigmarole all over again. I'll try it because I want him. But it's been a fiasco so far and it's dragging on still. And we will have to go in for him again in January. Which is partly why we want the young boys deal with Manu Morlanes to go through, because that will give us some money in the transfer budget. I've got plenty of wage budget left, so I can move some of that over, but if we get the Morlanes money, I don't have to move so much over to get Kang In Lee, which leaves us more to spend on his wages. All caught up? Marvellous. You can see from our pre-season that we have been winning games. Our last game of that pre-season is James Ward-Prowse's testimonial. So instead of a competitive game this time, you're going to get that. And then we will come back for probably not Saints opening day of the season actually. We might come back a little bit in. Possibly our first European game actually. How does that sound? I'll do you a deal. You won't get a competitive game this time, but you'll get a Champions League game next time. Okay, ordinarily you would never see a friendly in these things, but this friendly is a little bit special because this is James Ward-Prowse's testimonial. And it just happens to be on the same day as Portsmouth are starting their season, so it's just convenient to record this one and put it in this episode. JWP has been a magnificent servant to this club, so we are going to show his testimonial. Now, we've been playing a lot of Dutch sides in pre-season, all Eredivisie, so Dutch top flight sides, and we've been sticking some goals past them. Not sure we've kept a clean sheet yet, although we may have done in the last one, can't remember. But hopefully we can finish our pre-season on a nice high, and with any luck get JWP a goal. I have actually now seen him finally score a free... Oh, Vitor Roque, tap in. He has finally scored a free kick. It was in one of our pre-season friendlies, so it doesn't really count. So we're still waiting for him to do it in a competitive game since we got here. But that's a decent start. 5 minutes in, Vitor Roque notching up a goal. And this is supposed to be sort of like the toughest of the Dutch sides that we've faced. So they might give us a bit more of a game. But yeah, we've been going quite well. There are one or two... Oh, Shelderup, you absolute beast. Vitor Roque and Shelderup. Oh, it's disallowed. Oh, lovely finish though. Can't argue with that. You may notice from the lineup, well, I think actually you'll only notice one new name in there. Diego Moreira, who we'll have told you all about already. Right. We've been having a lot of success in pre-season from corners. To the point where actually I think Sutalo managed to score a hat-trick in one pre-season game. All from near-post corners. He headed 2 of them in and he struck the other one sweetly as it came in low. So, yeah, that was just weird. But, I mean, obviously we know JWP can fling in a deadly set piece just like that. Hey, Vitor Roque again. Good lad. Oh, JWP walking over to applaud the fans as they applaud him and his service. Ah, it's a little bit of a love fest, isn't it? I do hope he scores. Give us a penalty, ref, because he takes them. So, you know, just... It's a friendly, it's a testimonial, no one will care. 20 know why they're here. They're here to get stuffed and give JWP some much needed love. It has actually suggested recently that I downgrade him to just a regular starter from important player, but I'm not doing that yet because he is still an important player in many other ways. Oh my, that was in, was it? Wow. That's goal and technology for you. Spotted that quick, didn't it? Blimey, he thumped that. Valeri. What's he doing in the box? Especially there. Oh, look at that, he's right in the penalty area. Oh yeah, just about was in. You could see it when it was slowed down slightly. Excellent. Well, this has been a lovely day for James Ward-Prowse, hasn't it? Well, he hasn't scored yet, but everyone's playing well. I can't quite remember who we've got on the opening day. Oh, hello. Wow, he hit that. Good Lord. I do know, it might be Leeds, I do know that our first 5 games, from what I remember of the table last season, are all winnable. I doubt we'll win them all, obviously, but we've got a start that can really get us off and running. Not like last season when we had to go to Anfield, which, you know, no one wants that, do they? Really? You weren't really alive to that, were you, Vitor? Could see you was looking to make that pass and you just stood there. And then when it came through, you weren't moving, so you didn't get it. Now you're moving and you're still not there. Is this highlight going anywhere, game? Or are we just inspecting Unastol's ability to kick a ball upfield? Now he's in and not finished. Oh, Vitor. Oh, while we're talking about Vitor Roque, signing of the season in the Premier League last season, apparently, according to official sources. Although, it has to be said, the person in second cost less, played more games, scored more goals, set up more goals, and was probably royally miffed that he wasn't signing of the season. But never mind. Oh, Lavia. Good effort. We have made a slight tweak in the tactics. We were using the man himself there as a box-to-box midfielder, but he's now on central midfield on attack. So what it basically means is I think that he'll probably just go back slightly less. But it's also just easier to find people who've got the primary attributes required for that, because there's only like 4 of them, rather than box-to-box midfielder where you have to be pretty much good at everything. Central midfielder on attack, as long as you're pretty good going forward. I mean, tackling is in there as one of the attributes, but I never really bother too much if my central midfielder I want to do that role can't tackle that well, because ultimately it's not really what I'm asking them to do. Why are we throwing this away, boys? I'm going to shout at you now. I am literally going to shout at you. This was 3-0 and comfortable. You have made a mess of this, as you have done in several second halves in this pre-season, by the way, lads. There's been a number of times where you just haven't bothered second half because you thought you had the game won. And yes, you did have the game won. But it's no excuse for slacking off, is it? Right. Well, Sheldrop's not really playing all that brilliantly, is he? Let's get Arribas on. Yeah, we'll leave Walker Peters on. Right. Okay. I mean, we are obviously still dominating the game, but how this is 3-2 is beyond me. Let's face it, their XG is because that last goal of theirs was an absolute tap-in. And of course they did score an absolute worldie for the first one, but it's just annoying that it's even this close. Right, let's get some more of your friends on. Let's get Alvarez on for a few minutes. Yilmaz can come on. He's tired there. Right. It's not really your position, actually. Ulrich. That's probably more of a... Is he right? Oh, he's got a good... yeah. Ulrich can probably do that. And that'll do. Not bothered about Morlanas. You dare not win this. Just remember who you're doing this for. This one's not even about pre-season, is it? This is about giving James Ward-Prowse some moments to remember. There he is. There's the boy. Lovely ball out into space. Ulrich. Oh, nice finish. Lorin Ulrich. Hopefully that settles it. Yeah, there we go. Just see it out, lads. See it out. Marvellous. Well, James Ward-Prowse, round of applause. 10 magnificent years, and you've still got a few more left in you. And we're proud to have you here. I would like to thank you for joining me this time, and come back next time for our first taste of Champions League action. Like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye bye for now.